If you're an athlete who has to make repetitive throws, there's a good chance you'll eventually suffer from this type of injury. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And today our host Veronica went down to XFIT to learn what we should expect from a training session with our athletic therapist to treat a rotator cuff injury.
All right, so here we have Veronica on the table, and we're going to perform some exercises that one may be doing with their therapist in a clinic setting. So we're going to do two positions that'll prioritize internal rotation. It's a very strong component of the rotator cuff. So here we have Veronica's arm out slightly away from the body, 90 degrees right here. I'm going to get her to rotate in and force that same way. It's kind of like an arm wrestler's type of motion. So she'll force against my fingers that are under her wrist for a few seconds. Count down from 5 to 10 seconds and then release that. Take a moment for her to pause and then go back into that position. And if this is a position that is weak, here's a way to strengthen it by performing several holds of 5 to 10 seconds working on that position. We can do the same type of motion but at a different angle. The shoulder goes to many, many angles, so you want to strengthen it in many angles. So here's another way to do an internal rotation action, but it's farther away from the body. So here, I'll get her to go internal, internal. She'll be pressing her wrist area down into my fingers here, pushing pretty hard, and that's very good. And then release after about 5 seconds or so, 5 or 6 seconds. And this is a really good way to get internal rotation. Next, we're going to be working on some external rotation, another very important action of the rotator cuff. External rotation can be done in many, many positions. Here, we're going to pick two. First position is with elbow really close to the body, 90 degrees at the elbow here, and turning open, turning open, turning open. Then she's going to force into my finger here with her arm, and she's performing an action of external rotation into my fingers. It's an isometric exercise. It's an exercise where there's no motion happening. It's a very, very good way to target a particular position. So that was one position really close to the body. The next position is away from the body, way out here. Also performing the action of external rotation, and she as well will force her wrist downwards this time into my finger. Pushing and forcing, keeping a good position everywhere else in her body, which she is doing, for a few seconds and then release, and then go back into the position. So two real good ways to get external rotation muscle group addressed. Here we're going to go for motion of abduction or lifting the arm sideways. So for here, Veronica's arm straight. I'll actually put it into a slight internal rotation. It's a way to select some divisions of the shoulder cuff. Out away from the body, about 45 degrees, and pushing sideways outwards into my hand right here. So she's forcing and she's forcing with a pretty good strength. She's not overdoing it, but still giving a good concentrated effort into that direction. A therapist would find out which positions are the weakest and train those ones. So some positions might be strong, may not need any strengthening, but the key is to find the ones that are not strong and work on them. This next position is involving straight arm, but it's in a vertical position. I'm going to add internal rotation. Arm comes across the body as such, and her force is going that way. Holds that for a 5 to 10, release, and repeat the position. There you have it, a few exercises that can be done with your therapist. Once they find out muscles that need to be strengthened, work into that, get the arm into that position, and work at strengthening it. There you go.